Hello everyone, good evening, welcome to 9th and 10th channel of Byju's. I'm your teacher Ankita and I welcome you all in today's very important class where we'll be discussing about the first part of the chapter, control and coordination. We will be focusing on the animal nervous system. So yeah, we have the nervous system, right? In humans, of course, we'll be looking and discussing more about it. So I hope that all of you are ready. Everyone, if you can see me and if you can hear me, please make sure to hit the like button and do write in the comment section and do let me know that if you can see me and can hear me clearly. Good evening, good evening. How are you all? Yes, really sorry for the delay, but I welcome you all, everyone in the class. Good evening everyone. So I hope that all of you are feeling good about it. Finally we have the chapter control and coordination. Yeah, it took us a long time, more than us, because the life process chapter was a huge chapter, right? So it took us a time to finish the chapter. We went into the details of every topic. And of course, we did the questions and everything. Now we are the master of that chapter. And now everyone will be starting with the control and coordination. So I hope that all of you are excited for this particular session. Yes, everyone, quickly give me a thumbs up in the chat. Very good, very good. So, without taking much of your time, everyone, right, let's get started. Please do make sure, everyone, to hit the like button for the video. And if you're new here, do take a moment and subscribe to the channel. Like the video, awesome. Okay, so can we start, everyone? Ma'am, can I start from the beginning from today? Yes, absolutely, Supriya, no issues with that. Yes, we will be. These are the important sessions, everyone. Please make sure to watch the video till the end. Good evening, everyone. Very good, very good. Okay, chaliye. Now, I want all of you, right, to focus on the class now. And I want all of you to please make sure you're not discussing anything apart from the content that we are discussing. Okay? Yes, very good. Okay, this is not, see again, there are a lot of questions, ma'am, revision session le rahe ho. See, we will be discussing each and every part of it, right? Just don't worry. We will be discussing all the important topics, the questions which are related to it. We'll have so many revisions in the future. So don't worry, all of you focus on the chapter today. Okay, let's get started. So, for example, now I'm in front of you, right? You can see me, you can hear me, right? And I'm sure apart from that, I'm sure you're holding your phone or probably you're moving your fingers, probably you have a pencil, you have a notebook, you have a book, you're actually listening to me. You can see what you see on the screen, you can hear. If there's some background noise at your home, you'll be able to, listen to that also. If your mom is or your father is cooking something, you'll be able to have the fragrance of it that. Yes, I'm sure, खाने की smell भी आ रही होगी अभी. खाना बन रहा होगा starting में, right? And I'm sure you'll be able to feel that also. Now, if you're sitting on a chair, you'll be able to feel the sensation also. Okay, this is not comfortable. I can feel a pain in my back. No, this is not comfortable. So, at a time, everyone, we can feel and we can do various things all together. And all of these things are happening without being us taking a control of it with our mind. You agree? Do you agree on this, everyone? Tell me, do you have to pay really very hard attention for you to do all of these things? You can listen to me, right? You can see what is there on the screen. You can able to process that information. You can able to process the colors that we see on the screen, all of it without taking much effort thinking about it, right? We can do that. Yes? Now, how that is possible? How that is possible? Of course, it's possible because of our nervous system, right? So, everyone in today's class, we will be discussing about the animal nervous system. We'll be focusing on the nervous system at important parts. We'll be discussing about the neurons. We'll be discussing about the reflex action, reflex arc, synapses, all the important things that we have in the first part of the chapter. Okay, so let's get started. Now, there are two things that I want to address all of you over here. That the duration of the class will be approximately 1.5 hours. It's not the introduction, it's the first part of the chapter. We'll be discussing about the nervous system. We'll discuss about the structure of brain, neurons functioning, synapses, everything. Okay? Let's get started. So I'm sure we breathe, we react to different things. I'm sure you will agree to this, right? We perform these all functions and we don't put much thought into it, right? And of course, we all have given the answer. It's because of our nervous system. And when we talk about a nervous system, it does two important functions. Everyone, can you tell me what are the two important things that are happening in our body together? And that's the name of the chapter. Yes, everyone, quickly tell me about this. Very good, everyone. Those of you who have completed this chapter, stay with us so that you can help your friends out there. Very good, Shreyak. Very good, Rupinder. Yes, Vipin. Control and coordination, Vedant, Velita, AV, Sakshi, Kader, Shreya, Neha, Kashish, Jishna. Yes, very good, Cosmo, Team 7, Biju, Rekha. Cosmotalks, absolutely correct, Shalini. Okay, we have the control and coordination happening, right? And when we have this control and coordination happening, all systems, right, all performs well, and of course we are kind of aware about it. Yes? So what we can say that the process through which two or more organs interact and complement the function of one another, it does actually help the systems in making sure that our body is working perfectly fine in a very efficient manner. Right, so we need all of these systems. We need the control and coordination, or we can see that we need nervous system so that all the important systems can coordinate among themselves and can actually help in the well functioning of our body. Yes, everyone, are we clear? Yes, very good. Control and coordination. Clear, all of you? Yes, very good. Rupinder will let you know about it. Chaliye. Now, before we move ahead, everyone, there are a few important terms. We will discuss about the coordination, Kashish, don't worry. But before that, let's quickly understand about the few important terms that we'll be looking into it. Everyone, this is not the revision, right? This is not the revision. What we have over here, we will be looking at the concept and the questions related to it. So I want all of you to stay focused. Here we go. What is stimulus, receptor, and the response? What is stimulus? These are the important terms that will come in your examination again and again. And more than that, we should have the understanding about these terms so that we will be able to understand a concept. So here we go. Stimulus, what is stimulus? It is anything external event, right? It could be in any event or any change that is happening in our external environment. For example, see, I have can you see? Everyone. See, now you'll be able to see the difference. Can you see the lights going off? Yes or no? Yes or no? You can clearly see, right? So lights are off. The light over here is there from the external environment, right? Because of the light, right? Of course, because of the light you can see me clearly, right? Your eyes can actually see me clearly. But when the lights are off, definitely your eyes will change according to the light which is falling on them. So in this particular case, we know that stimulus is any event or any changes which is happening in the external environment that generate a specific reaction in an organ or a tissue. Clear? Yes? That is stimulus. Someone calling your name. Topper learner. Timetable आपको मिलेगा बच्चे community post पे. वहाँ पे जाओ, you'll be able to see it. Right? When someone calls out your name, that is a stimulus. The sound is a stimulus over there. Clear? Then the receptors. Your eye is over here. In our eyes, we have the receptors. They will be receiving the light, and that's how we'll be able to process all the information. So the receptors are the specialized structure that are present in the different parts of the body and the organ, and they are capable of recognizing and receiving the messages, right? Clear, everyone? Very good, very good. They're the ones that are receiving. Kader have just explained stimulus and stimuli same. Okay? What is response? Of course, the way we react to different other things. So, for example, stimulus is the light. All of you, please do pay attention. What is stimulus? Stimulus is the light. What are the receptors? Receptors are present inside your eyes. They will be taking it, processing it. And the response will come by a body only. So, we have all these three things. Everyone, are we clear? Yes, I hope that all of you are clear with this. We have stimulus, receptors, and response. Rekha, you can go back in the beginning and see that bache what will be covering. I have explained over there. Yes, everyone, are we clear? Very good. Yes. Okay. I hope that all of you have watched the videos that I have added on the channel also. Yes, very good, Kashish. Now, Kriti, it's the same thing as stimulus. Don't worry about it. Okay. Moving ahead, everyone, with the very first question. I think many of you have asked me this question. What is coordination? What are the two types of coordination we see in the living organism? I will be taking your doubts. Don't worry. Give me some time. Let's start discussing this topics and then I'll be taking your doubts. So here we go, everyone. What is coordination? And what are the two different types of coordination we see in the organism? In a simple way, right? In a simple way, we can say that what is coordination? Coordination is nothing but when our organs, right? When our bodies, organs and different systems are, right? What are they doing? They're actually getting connected, and based upon that, they're trying to get the coordination. They were trying to get the work done in the body in a smoother way so that the body can work functionally. We can call it as a coordination. I'm sure in your school you will have the coordinator, right? There will be a teacher coordinator, or in a class it could be a coordinator who will be managing things. Yes or no? I'm sure. Right, in our schools we have a coordinator teacher who will be making sure all the activities are happening, Independence Day preparation, Annual Day preparation. There will be a coordinator, yes or no? Yes? So the main function of a coordinator is to coordinate everything. So we know what is the meaning of coordination. There are two types of coordination, everyone. What are the two types of coordination? We'll see now, right? We'll see now. So here we have, for those of you who want me to repeat what we have studied, like the first slide here, what we have. So, what we have, you have the stimulus, the external event, right? Any event or a change in the external environment, right? That is the stimulus or the stimuli. This will be, what it will be doing? It will be generating a response. Between that, we have something which we call it as the receptors that will be making sure that they're receiving this information and then they're reacting. So, we have the clarity about these three terms. And if we have to put in the words, we can say that what is stimulus, what is response, and the stimulus and the response are coordinated by our nervous system. Clear? We have a nervous system to coordinate between all the different parts of the body, right? And then that's how we react to it. So, are we clear with this, everyone? What is coordination? Very good, Shalini, very good. And there are two different types of coordination that we have in our body. We have neural coordination or the nervous system, and then of course we have the hormonal control, or we have the hormone system that is there in our body. Okay? So, we have neural control and we have the hormone system. Hormones are nothing but the chemical signals, right? All the chemicals, messages that moves, and of course in the nervous system we have the electrical signaling. Yes, please do take the screenshot. I will move aside. Everyone do take a screenshot of this. I will be sharing the screen again. So please make sure to stay active. Yes, very good. Okay, chaliye. So, if we have to sum it up, everyone, I want all of you to stay focused over here. Coordination is the working together of various agents of the body of an organism in a proper manner to produce an appropriate reaction to a stimulus is called as coordination. So, I want all of you to take a definition of the coordination from here. Yes? Then there are two types of coordination. We have nervous and hormonal coordination. In animals, we have both the hormones and the neurons, right? And of course, in plants, we'll be discussing more about the hormones. So that's another part that we'll be discussing. But everyone, are we clear up to here? Yes, right? So I'll just move aside. Everyone, do take a screenshot and I'll show you the other slide also. Very good, everyone. I like the enthusiasm. And many of you are saying, ma'am, that we have watched the previous video also. Very good, everyone. See, take a screenshot of this. Right, take a screenshot of this if you have taken. And this is okay. This is not that important. We have the information with us. You can take the screenshot of this for sure. Right, where we have all the important words. Take a screenshot, everyone. Okay, chaliye. So now we are clear with some important terms. Right? I hope that now you have the clarity. बच्चों please मेरी बात ध्यान से सुनो. Right? Please everyone just stay focused. We are starting with a new chapter. I know that you will have doubts, and that is the reason why we all are here as a teacher. Yes? Right? So we will be teaching you, then you ask doubts. When we have not taught, if you ask doubts, it will be like, going actually into an ocean and not knowing which direction we have to move. So I want all of you to stay a little bit focused over here what I am teaching, and please ask the relevant doubt. We will be answering the other doubts in the later part of the class, and then you don't have to say, okay ma'am, are you ignoring me? You're not answering my doubts, right? So let's just focus. Yes, you will be getting the notes on the Telegram. Okay. Hello, Khushbu. Okay, everyone. So are we clear? Are we clear with it? We are clear what is coordination. We are clear with what is stimulus. We are clear with what are receptors, and we are clear with what is response. Yes or no? Very good. We know that there are two types of systems that actually help in the control and the coordination. We have the nervous system, and then we have the hormone system or the hormone control. Good. Ruchita, again, the doubt that you're asking will be answering in a few minutes, so please hang on to that doubt. I'll answer that doubt when we have the question. Chaliye. Next question, everyone. We are studying these are the questions that can come in your examination. Vedant, don't worry, we'll have that also. Okay. Here we go, everyone. What are neurons? Describe its structure and the function. Now, before I get into this question, I'm sure all of you are aware about the neuron. In class 9th, we have a topic which is nervous system. How many of you remember this topic? How many of you remember this topic in class 9? Chotu sa topic is there at the end of the chapter, tissues, right? And we have this, right? We have the nervous tissue. Right? And nervous tissues, we talked about the important cell. Can you tell me the nerve cell name? Right? Nerve cell, or what is the other name of it? Yes, anyone? Yes, I'm sure you remember the structure also. Very good. We call it as the neuron. So neurons are the cells that makes up the nervous system. Right? Right, or we also call them as a nerve cell, which are present there. Very good. Very good. So neurons plays a very important role, and they are also called as the structural and the functional unit of nervous system. Nothing very, no very big science over here. We know that they are the structural and the functional unit of the nervous system. Now that we are clear with this, in class 9th, we have just basic structure about the neuron. But now in class 10th, we have some detailed structure, and I want all of you to pay attention to it. Here we go, everyone. Now this is a very elaborate structure of the neuron that we have over here with us. We remember that neuron have dendrites. As I can see many of you writing in the chat now. They have the dendrites, they have the cell body, or also called as a cyton, right? They have the axon and the axon terminal, or the axon ending. Yes, we also call it the axon ending. I'll just write over here, right? Now there are a few addition words that we have over here. Yes, I can see that many of you are writing now. So we know that dendrites are the one that receives information, right? So dendrites will receive the information from other neuron. Everyone stay focused, right? So dendrites are the one, there is a small thread-like or the hair-like structure that are attached to the cell body, and dendrites plays a main important role in receiving the information from other neuron. Okay? Yes, very good. So dendrites, what are dendrites? Dendrites are the hair-like structure that are present, or the small thread-like structure that are present, attached to the cell body of the neuron. And what is the main function of dendrite? They receive the information from other neuron. That's how the dendrite will be receiving the information. Now the next word that we have over here is the cell body. Now cell body is a central part of the neuron. It also have the nucleus. We call the cell body as the cyton also. So it passes the information, right, to later part of the other part of the neuron, which is the axon. So dendrite receive information, comes to the cell body, and from the cell body it goes to the axon. Everyone, are we clear about this? Everyone, are we clear about this? We will be discussing all the other parts later, but all of you, are you clear about this? Quick thumbs up. Yes. Very good, very good. Those of you who are talking in the class, see, I will not be able to repeat again and again and again. I'm going really very slow here. So please, you have to please make sure that you're paying attention now. Good. So dendrite receives the information from other neuron. It passes to the cell body, and from the cell body it passes to the axon. Cell body has a nucleus. We know that nucleus is super important, right? And nucleus have all the important genetic material. So there's not much over here to talk about the cell body. That's it. Then from the cell body, the information passes to the axon. Now everyone comes a very important point. Axon, right? So the information is coming to the axon. It's the longest part of the neuron and it has the axon terminal or the axon ending. We can see over here, right, small finger-like projections like this. Okay? Now, on the axon, there are two important things that we can see. Everyone sees, I am sure you can see this over here. We have myelin sheath and we have node of Ranvier, right? Remember these two extra things that are there in the neuron apart from class 9. This is the addition that we have. What is myelin sheath? Yes. What is myelin sheath? It's nothing but an insulated sheet. Now I'm sure all of you are aware about a wire. Can you see everyone? Yes, can you see this wire? Yes, I'm able to, I hope that you will be able to see this wire, right? It's in black color. Now we usually have a rubber kind of structure, right, when we talk about the wire. There are two words I'm sure you have studied in chemistry, conductors and insulators. Conductor are the one that actually help, they actually help in passing the electricity. Yes, we can put it in that way. They will allow the electricity to flow through them. That is the correct way, right? Conductors conduct electricity. Yes, but when we talk about the insulator, what they do? Insulator will not allow the electricity or any of the signals to pass. So why we have the myelin sheet covered on the axon? Because it's make sure the signal is just passing in the axon and it's not moving into the space inside our body, or sorry, inside our brain. Everyone, are we clear with this? What is the role of myelin sheet? It acts as an insulator. It makes sure the signal is passing smoothly, right? Everyone, are we clear? Yes, it's present in the axon only, Shreya. Yes? Clear? Shreya answered your question. Yes. Neha will see that. We don't have the clear picture of it, but yeah, we'll have a little bit of similarities over there. Okay? Everyone, are we clear? Okay. Now, the last one that we have over here is the nodes of Ranvier. Now, again, these nodes of the Ranvier over here, if you will be able to see, right, there's a gap. Can you see these gaps? Yes or no? I'm sure you'll be able to see the gaps, right? So just remember everyone, right? They are kind of the biceps. Okay? And what they do, they actually help to make sure the fast signaling. Clear? Easy peasy things to us to remember. Okay? Everyone, are we clear? Now, I want you to take the screenshot of this where we have the written function and I'll see that if you have any doubt. Take a screenshot, everyone. So we have what is the function of the dendrite. I'm moving aside. Take a screenshot. Jaldi say. The function of a dendrite are to receive signals from the other neurons, to process these signals and to transfer the information to the som of the neuron, that is nothing but the cell body. Right? The som is nothing but the cell body. Cyton is a cell body which has a nucleus. Myelin sheath allows the electrical impulse to transmit quickly and efficiently along with the nerve, and if it's damaged. Kader, see, here's your question. Kader is asking, ma'am, kya hoga? Agar damage hua to kya hoga? If it's damaged, these signals, movement will slow down. Simple. Right? Then what we have the other information about the axon. It actually helps with the transmission of the information, right, to muscles, to different glands. Node of Ranvier, right, they are there so that the generation of the electrical impulse become fast. Fast electrical impulse generation. The movement of electrical impulse becomes really very fast. And the last is the axon terminal, which is nothing but the end, right, which is the end of the axon where the information will pass to the next neuron. Everyone, are we clear with this? Yes, I hope it's clear to each one of you. Neha, I'm not sure, they have mentioned it once, right? Kader, you'll not ask who is Ranvier over here. It's a part of the neuron. Clear? I'm explaining again, everyone. See, everyone, you have to understand that I'm going really very slow, and if you focus, you'll be able to understand each and everything. Okay? I'm repeating it again, everyone, in a short way. Please make sure to stay with me. We know that dendrites, what they do, they receive the information, right? They receive the information from the other neuron. They pass it to the cell body, right? And cell body will be passing it to the axon. Are we clear up to here? Give me a quick thumbs up. Yes? Everyone, are we clear? Yes? Dendrites receive the information from other neurons, pass it to the cell body, and cell body passes to the axon. Right? Now from the axon, we have other important things that we have just discussed. On the axon, everyone, what we have, if this is the axon, right? If this is the axon, what they have? First of all, they have a myelin sheath. What they have? They have a myelin sheath. Now, what is the main function of the myelin sheath? It's make sure, right, that the conduction of the electrical impulse is having smoothly. It acts as an insulator. Remember that, everyone, it acts as an insulator. It will not allow the impulse or any information to pass out of it. If it is damaged, what will happen? We'll get the information really very slowly, right? That's a very basic understanding that we all should have. Apart from that, our axon have these structures, right? These structures, everyone, and what we call them as nodes, because there's a gap between, right? We call them as the nodes of Ranvier, right? Yes, Rupinder, I do remember you. Clear, everyone? And what is the main function? What is the main function of this? The main function of the nodes of the Ranvier is in the faster movement of the electrical impulse. Everyone, are we clear? Everyone clear? Good, good, very good. Vedant, if they're damaged, it can damage by any accident or any injury. Good. Chaliye. So with this, everyone, we are done. I would request all of you to take a screenshot of this again if you haven't taken. Yes, and now I'll be able to take some doubts. Jaldi se. Dev Saini, bache, we have started. We'll be doing the revision next time. Next week, we'll have animal tissues. How, ma'am, how would that affect us if it gets slow in information to the nervous system? We'll be able to process it slow. Srivarsini, I'm sure you would have seen, right, some of the aged people, and if there's a brain injury, right, we'll not be able to justify a few things. We'll not be able to remember a few things. Every 1 minute, I'll answer your doubt. Ma'am, nodes of Ranvier and myelin sheath have the same function to make signals pass quickly. But yeah, the structure are different. Right, if you look at the function, they're not exactly same. Rods of myelin sheath has an important role in the, right, if you can see, right, in the functions over there, it plays a very important role in actually protecting the signals. It acts as an insulator over there. Whereas the nodes of Ranvier is the only important function to make sure it's moving really very quickly. Clear? Yes, yes, Ruchita, we'll answer that question. Yes, what will happen if the neurons got damaged? We'll not be able to process information properly. Very good, very good. Everyone, are we clear? Interesting. We'll answer, Khushbu will answer that question. Clear, clear, clear. Nehal, you have to answer this question, that what is the length of the axon? Think about it. You have to find out. I'm sure you'll be able to. Ma'am, where the information is processed in the neuron? I didn't understand your question, Avi. Where the information is processed in the neuron? So all the parts are playing an important part. Dendrites are also taking the information. Cell body is also taking the information and passing it to the axon, and axon is also transferring to the other neuron. Okay? Which part of the neuron conduct the information? So final information, of course, is definitely the axon body which is transferring to the other neuron. But dendrite, cell body all play an important role. Okay. Everyone, are we clear with this? Good. So now that we are clear that what is neuron and what is the structure of the neuron, right? Let's understand how these neurons will be working together. So we know that in our body we have nerves, right? In our body we have nerves which carries a nerve impulse, which carries a signal, right? So the neurons, when comes together, will be forming the nerves, and of course they are nothing but the bundle of the neurons. And neurons are the structure and the functional unit of the nervous system. So this is how you will remember things. Everyone, are we clear? Luffy, if there's any brain injury or some accident, if to the brain, right, it can the myelin sheet can get damaged. And of course, there are other conditions also that can damage the myelin sheet in the brain, right, which are there on the neurons. Okay, chaliye. Are we clear, everyone? Now, with this, everyone, so we have described this particular question, which focus upon what are neurons, describe its structure and the function. A 5 marks or a 3 marks question. Probably from this particular chapter, you will just have 3 marks questions, 4 marks question, 2 marks question, and not 5 marks question. So here, everyone, do take a screenshot. Again, we have clearly specified the function of dendrites, cell body, axon, myelin sheet, and on the other page we have others. So everyone take the screenshot. Yes, very good. Neurons are the type of cells, bache, right? They are present in the brain. Many of you have joined a session just now, right? Everyone, those of you who have joined the session just now, I would request you to start watching the session again, right? Because I can see that you have some doubts which we have discussed already in the beginning of the chapter. Very good. Chaliye. And of course, then we'll write about the functions of the neuron. Easy peasy. Chaliye. Very good, everyone. Right? Someone was saying in the chat, "Aaj Mysore Pak khayenge." So we'll have the Mysore Pak. Right? It's super yummy, super delicious. Ghee and besan, and it just melts in our mouth. Very good. Kaju katli bhi hai. Chaliye. Okay. No, neuron will not be able to recover after the damaging because neurons don't repair themselves. Yes. Yeah, you will definitely have the laddu bhi milenge. Abhi hum next question mein laddu khayenge. Next question pe we'll have the laddus, everyone. Now, if I call back, you remember what are receptors, right? We know what is receptors. Yes, remember, right? Receptors are present in our different part, right? Yes, we all remember that receptors are there in the organs and they are the one that receives the information. So then the next question is about the receptors, everyone, and why they're important. So let's talk about the receptors. So on our skin, everyone, right, on our hands. So we have, if I'll pinch my hand, I'll be able to feel the pain, right? How many receptors we have? We can definitely feel the pain, and on that question comes a very important part. How many receptors do you think we have in our body? Which are mentioned in our textbook. Receptors actually help us to taste the Kaju Katli. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Yes, we have the 5 major receptors, of course, right? So, of course, we have different receptors in our textbook. We have 5, so we'll just focus on them. So, we have the 5 different receptors. We have eyes, right? We have ears, we have nose, we have skin, we have taste buds, sense organs, basically, right? So, on these sense organs, what we have the different receptors that receives the information, takes to our brain, and that's how we react to it. For example, I was showing you the example of light. For example, everyone, if you close your eyes really very tightly after some time, it will take some time for you to adjust. right? I'm sure it happens to all of us. If you're coming from outside from the sun, when you enter a room, it's completely dark, right? It'll take some time for our eye receptor to adjust according to the frequency of the light that we have, and then of course we'll be able to see clearly. Happens to us. Yes, right? So we have the receptors who understands a light, right? Based upon the light that we are receiving, they will adjust in such a way that we'll be able to see things clearly. Right? Yes, Khushbu, so you have to go. For all of this, I can explain, but everyone, you have to watch sort of the session on the human eye. Go there and watch the session. Okay, so we'll discuss, everyone. We know that the stimulus is the one that sends a signal, right? We receive the stimulus through the receptors, modify sensory neurons, right? And these receptors are present on the different organs like eyes, nose, skin, etc. So everyone, I would request you to take the screenshot of this and then we'll discuss. We have thermoreceptors on our skin for the temperature, right? We have photoreceptors for the light in our eyes. We have olfactory receptors for the smell. Remember everyone, this question can come in the examination. They can ask you in MCQs, right? Photoreceptor or olfactory receptors help in recognizing what? The olfactory receptors actually help us recognizing the smell. Photoreceptors is easy, the sound, right? Or we also call it as the auditory receptors, sound. One of the confusing one that we have over here is the gustatory receptors. They actually help in the tasting, the taste. So two things over here that we have, right, that can actually, it might confuse us, is the olfactory receptors and the gustatory receptors. Olfactory for smell, right? Gustatory for the taste. Okay, remember everyone. Clear? Yes, all of you, are we clear with it? Naman, we'll be discussing about them in the plants. Don't worry. Yes, AV, absolutely correct. So when you eat a kaju katli or a jalebi or laddus or momos or noodles or pav bhaji or chole bhature, everything that we taste, we know which receptors are responsible for it. Yes? Okay. So now we can definitely frame our answer. It's nothing important, not very special. You can easily frame the answer, right? Receptors are specialized tip of the nerve cells that detects information around our external environment by a means of stimulus and create an impulse into the nervous system, which result in the nervous system to take actions. We can mention about the sense organs: eyes, nose, skin, ear and tongue. Okay. Chaliye. So here everyone, see, we are almost 45 minutes into the session and we just finished 3 questions. We have to pace it up, everyone. Chaliye. Okay. Now, many of you are asking in the chat, ma'am, how the information moves. Okay. Right, from one person to the next person, how the information moves. We call them, right? We talk to them, and that's how we communicate. But in a case of a neuron, how the information passes? Let's suppose we have this neuron and we have this one more neuron. Can anyone tell me how this information is moving from this neuron to this neuron? Anyone, and any idea? Very good, very good, very good, Kashish. Yes, connection, communication, dendrites, synapses, very good. By electrical impulse, very good everyone, very good. I'm super proud of you. So now that we will be discussing about how the signals are moving, right? How the communication is happening between one neuron and another neuron. We are aware about the different parts of the neuron. Now we will understand that how they communicate with each other. So neurons have a very special structure. We know that they have axon. Yes or no? Yes. And at the end, right, I'm just drawing this part, right? Yes, this is the axon ending, and of course over here we have one more small hair-like structure. Okay? So everyone, can anyone tell me axon passes the information to? I'll wait for some time. Axon passes the information to? Can anyone tell me what is this part? If this is axon, if this is axon terminal or axon ending, it passes the information to? Very good. It passes the information to the dendrite. Very good, everyone. We have to remember, the other neuron will receive the information from dendrite. Clear? We have to have this understanding. ये हमें दिमाग में fit करना पड़ेगा कि dendrite receives the information, axon sends the information. Clear? Dendrite receives the information and axon sends the information. Clear? Yes, if we can remember this, we'll be able to understand how the neurons work. Okay? Chaliye. Now it makes sense, right? Let's see. We will see this, right? So we have the axon terminal and we have the dendrites. So what will happen now? We have the information coming from here, right? And it goes through a small space. It's a very small space, very small space that we have. From here it will jump from that small space and then moves to the dendrite. Jump, not literally jump karke, but that's how this will work. Now we'll understand this. Let's move ahead, right? So we'll be discussing about what is synapses and what are the different from the neural, how it's different from the other. See everyone over here, what you see? You were asking, ma'am, how the signals move or how the signals happens. This is how. We have just shown, this is just the representation, right? Right, this is how the signal moves. We have the dendrites which are receiving the information, cell body, axon and axon ending. Okay? Important thing that we see over here now. Everyone take a screenshot jaldi se. Take a screenshot jaldi se everyone. I hope that you can see the GIF, but you can take the screenshot for the important labelings that we have. Okay? Very good. So we know that dendrites receives the information, pass it to the cell body and it passes to the axon. Axon will pass it to the axon terminal or the axon ending, and between the next neuron there's a small gap. There's a small gap, we call it as a junction, right? Small, very thin gap, right? Which is also called as a junction through which the information will pass from one neuron to the other neuron. Clear everyone? What is synapses? Remember the name. Yes? Very good. It's up to you whether you want to take the screenshot or not. I'm just saying that it will be there with you. You don't have to wait. So synapses is nothing but a small gap or a small junction which is present between the two neurons through which the chemical transmission happen. Everyone, are we clear? Yes, everyone, are we clear with it? Now, if you're clear with this, let me tell you one very, very important thing. Many of you have a doubt, ma'am, how? We have chemical impulse, chemical messaging and electrical messaging. Yes, right? See, what we see over here is electrical, right? We talked about electricity in the beginning. Yes or no? Yes, we talked about this. The signal that we see over here in the representation, we are saying that it's an electrical impulse which passes and then of course becomes chemical. So let's make it easy. Let's make it super easy. You will be learning in your higher classes. I'm just explaining you in a very, very, very basic way. We know that cells have plasma membrane, yes or no? I'm not going into the detail, everyone. I'm just helping you to understand. Right? Yes? Very good. We all know that we have neurons. We know that neurons have a plasma membrane. Of course, they are the cells, right? And all the animal cells have the plasma membrane. Yes or no? Yes. Now that we are clear that they have the plasma membrane, we know that it will have some chemicals into it, like ions. We have studied about the permeability, semi-permeability, yes or no? Yes or no, right? We have discussed that our plasma membrane is semi-permeable in nature. That means that it will allow only few ions and molecules to move in and out. So, not going into detail, let me explain you this. What happens when the cell body starts sending the signal, or when the dendrite receives the signal, right? It is actually in a chemical form. It gets converted into the electrical form. When there's a movement of the ions. We have positive ions and negative ions. You don't have to understand much, everyone, but can I just understand this, that we have different types of ions. Few are positive and few are negative. When they move across this membrane, dig 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 dig, ऐसे ऐसे चलते हैं, right? That's how the electrical impulse is made, and that's how they're passing. Clear? See, electricity में positive and negative होते हैं ना charges, yes or no? Yes or no? See, I'll spend time over here because it's important. इलेक्ट्रिसिटी में पॉजिटिव एंड नेगेटिव चार्जेस होते हैं नहीं होते हैं, राइट? यस और नो? इन इलेक्ट्रिसिटी वी हैव पॉजिटिव एंड द नेगेटिव चार्जेस. यस. In a plasma membrane of neuron, what happens? We will see the movements of the ion, right? We will see the conversion of positive ions into negative, negative ions into positive, and that's how, right, it will create a reaction, it will create an impulse that will move in this way, and that's how the signal will move. You don't have to understand this as of now. You will be learning this in a class 11th, but in class 10th it's not there, but you have to understand this part. ठीक है? आपको कोई पूछेगा कैसे मूव हो रहे, तो you should not say कि हमने नहीं पढ़ा. You can now say that we know that electrical impulse come because of the movement of ions. There's a generation of the electrical impulse. Yes or no? Everyone, are we clear? Yes. In a very simple words I'm explaining. Detail में you'll be learning in your class 11. But everyone, are you clear with this small छोटा सा concept? Very warm welcome to all new of you who are here in class. Please stay focused. Neha, there are ions present. It's not that why we need ions, it's there in the body itself. Okay? Yes. It's there in the body. You cannot just remove. You cannot remove the atoms and the molecules and the ions from the body. We are made up of chemicals, right? We are made up of atoms. We are made up of molecules. Right? Yes? So that is a reason for it. Now that you are clear with this, that how the electrical impulse is there, we have to understand that there is a gap. Now, I'm sure in the electricity part, you know that if the circuit is not proper, do you think the electricity will be moving? Yes or no? Yes or no? Right? Think about it, everyone. If this is the electrical wire, if there is a breakage, right? If the electricity wire are not connected, do you think electricity will move from here to here? No, right? Similarly, in the case of the neurons, what happens? There is a small chotu sa gap which is there, which is called as synapse, right? Which is called as the synapse. Yes? Now, what happens when these signals are coming out of this neuron, right? I'll just draw in this way. So when these are coming out in the open space, basically they are not the electrical signal, and now they are changed to chemical. Now this is a part which becomes confusing, so I really want you to watch this. Can you see this part, everyone? I want you to observe this image. Jaldi se dekho yahan pe. All of you, please watch this first. See, watch this first. Watch this image and try to understand. Can you see? We can clearly see that from here, right? From the axon, we can see a yellow electrical impulse coming, right? That is electrical impulse. What it does, the chemicals are moving. And as it comes to the ending of the neuron, right, they will form these small vesicles. And inside these vesicles, we will see there are chemicals. From this only, we will see that there's a generation and we have the chemicals. These chemicals will get attached to the wall and they'll just move out. We have receptors over here, right? We have these gates that will release the chemicals into the synapses, and these chemicals will get transfer from this space to the dendrite of another neuron. Very good. These chemicals are called as the neurotransmitters. What we call them as? We call them as the neurotransmitters. We have dopamine, serotonin, all of these are the neurotransmitters. That's how we receive the signal. It's a very, very interesting thing, everyone. Right? We have the, what we have? We have the electrical impulse. Right? We have the electrical impulse which is being generated throughout the axon. As there is a change in the plasma membrane, right, it sends a signal and it actually forms these small vesicles, and these vesicles contain the chemicals. We call these chemicals as neurotransmitter. These neurotransmitters, if you can see over here, this neurotransmitter will get attached, right, and that's how they'll just move out, and it will move into the space which is there, which is called the synapses, and it will move to the dendrite. Clear, everyone? Neurotransmitters are not hormones. They are the chemicals. They are different things. We'll discuss about that. Clear, everyone? Everyone quickly give me a thumbs up. See, there are two things that you have to remember over here. तनु, मैं आपका नाम क्यों लूं बेटा? आपने अपने किसी फ्रेंड की हेल्प करी है कि क्लास में अभी? आप बस स्पैम कर रहे हो. Why should I take your name? Right? AV, yes. Ma'am, can you explain how the vesicles are formed? AV, it's actually beyond the understanding of a class as of now. But I can just help you with that. There's a conversion happening, right? There's a lot of ions that are involved into it. And because of those, the concentration changes and we see the formation of the vesicles. Clear? Right? So let me explain you for the last and final time, everyone, and then we'll move to the next question. Right? I want all of you to pay attention now. We have a beautiful neuron, right? So, right, we have this neuron, and this has the, I want all of you, if you want to draw with me, please make sure you're drawing, right? This is how the structure of the nerve ending you can draw. Okay? And on the other side, right, okay, so we have the dendrite. All of you, are you clear? Now, you only will help me now. When the signal is moving from dendrite to cell body to axon, what is the signal type? What is the signal type? The signal type is electrical or chemical? The signal type is electrical or chemical. When the movement is happening in the axon, it's electrical. Very good. It's electrical, right? The signal moves. We have talked about the ions. We see the ions are changing over here, and because of that we'll have a electrical impulse generation. Electrical impulse will move, right? And it will come to the end over here. Now it just stopped. It cannot go further because there's a gap. Now this particular gap is called as what? It's called as synapse. Right? It's called as the synapse. Right? Clear? Okay. Over here. Yes. Right? So we call it as a synapse. Now, yes. Initially it is chemical, AV, but again, I'll just come to that. You don't have to confuse. Inside the neuron, it's electrical only. Inside the neuron, it's electrical only. Okay? Now from here to here, everyone, we know that if you take a close-up, we remember that, right? This is a neuron and this is a dendrite. So here we have the receptors, right? The opening the gates. We have these vesicles. And inside these vesicles, what we have? We have the neurotransmitter. Yes. What will happen? They will come and they'll come over here and they will release the chemicals. Now what we have these chemicals. These chemicals will move into the receptor. They will be receiving it. And again we'll have the electrical impulse. Everyone, are we clear? Yes, electrical impulse. So how we will write then? We will write it as the chemical, right? If you want to just keep it really very simple. Dendrite, cell body, axon, right? We have the information in electrical. Then of course we have the chemical. And then again we have the electrical. Clear? Yes, all of you clear? Easy, right? It's very easy now. Shivangi, Aishwarya ma'am will be dealing with the hormones, so please you have to wait for that session. Quick thumbs up now. Quick thumbs up. I can see that many of you got confused, but I'm really very proud of you, everyone who stayed. And now you are saying yes, yes, yes. So इसके लिए तो घेवर बनता है, right? Now it's clear. Now you will read it, you will feel, मैम कितना easy था. So हम घेवर खाएंगे अभी, बड़ा वाला घेवर खाएंगे, right? पनीर मलाई वाला with lot of pistachios, nuts. Clear? Yes. So everyone, again I'll just show you the video so that you will remember everything. So I want you to observe it very carefully. Chaliye, right? I'm moving aside. Right? I'm moving aside. Just think and look at the images now. Here we have. This is how we'll see the movement happening. Electrical impulse to the neurotransmitter, chemicals, right? And this is how they will actually move. Chaliye. This was the toughest part, everyone, and we have conquered it. Yes. So everyone, this is how you can write the answer. What is synapses? Synapses or synapse are the junction that allow a nerve impulse to pass from one neuron to another. Very important definition. How it is different from neuromuscular junction? The key difference between the synapse and a neural muscular junction is that the synapse is present between the two nerve cells or a neuron and a muscle cell, right? While neuromuscular junction is a junction between the motor neuron and a muscle fiber. We will have this part later, but I'm just helping you to understand. Okay? Chaliye. Yes. Now the class will be jaldi se khatam ho jayegi class because we have finished the major part of it. Next question, everyone, what are the different types of neurons? Very common question asked. So we have 3 different types of neurons in our body. Okay? What are the names of the neurons? We have sensory neurons, relay neurons and motor neurons. Sorry? Yes, here we go. Now let me ask you and let me make it, what is the meaning of sensory? Right? Very good. Sensory neurons. Sensory neurons are present in the sense organ. They will be able to sense things, right? So on our sense organ, ears may we have auditory receptors or phonoreceptors, right? Nose may we have olfactory receptors. Ear may, on the tongue we have the gustatory receptors. All of these, what we call them as sensory receptors, right? They'll be able to receive the information. They will receive the information. Then of course they will be passing it to the important organ that we have in the body. In between they will have a relay neuron or intermediate neuron. See, in our body, everyone, especially in our nervous system, there always be a mediator in between. I'm sure, for example, if you have to ask for some permission, let's suppose if you have to ask for a permission to go to your friend's place, right? I'm sure you'll be asking your father first. Papa, can I go to my friend's place? Right? Your father will be the mediator in between and your father will be talking the same thing to your mother. Right? Yes? I'm sure you does that, right? There will be always be a mediator in between to pass on the information. We'll ask our either one parent and the other parent will actually talk to our parent, right? To get us the permission. Sometimes we talk to our mom first, right? Mama, mujhe ye chahiye. So your mom will be, talking to your father. Acha, you know what? She said that or he said that. He or she wants to do that. We does that, right? So, we have a relay neuron which acts as a signal passaging. Basically, it will take the information from here and pass it to the motor neuron. Right, what is a motor neuron? Which is present on the paths that we have actively involved. For example, if I'm talking about my skin, if I have to pull my hands back, my muscles will have, right, the cells that are there, right? They definitely have the motor neurons sending the signals to them. Clear? Easy peasy? Very good. Chaliye. If you're clear with this, take a screenshot of this and we'll move ahead. Jaldi se everyone. Super proud of you everyone. I love the energy. I hope that all of you are enjoying the session. थोड़ा सा difficult है. I would say that, you know, there are times when you feel that नहीं हो सकता, but I know that you'll be able to do. Ma'am, the sensory neurons and the receptors are the same thing? Yes, we can say. So these sensory organs, right, will have the receptors only. Clear? Yes. Okay, chaliye, very good. Then it's in table form. For your examination, take a screenshot. Motor means Biju, something that बच्चे motor neuron हम नाम दे रहे हैं क्योंकि वो action लेगा. अमूल्य इग्नोर नहीं कर रही हूँ, भी आपका मैसेज देखा है. Yes? Clear? Biju, I hope that is clear, बच्चे. Yes, Nehal. Okay. Now, moving to the question number 6, everyone. What is nervous system and what are the different divisions of the nervous system? Before going into it, I hope that you have a clarity about the neurons, about the signal movement, right? We know that how the movement will happen, or let me write impulse transmission, right? And of course, we have just discussed about the types of neuron. Yes? Okay. Everyone, are we clear? Yes, there. Okay. Nikhil will discuss about it. Yes, I've started taking on a class 11th also now. Byju's, Akash Byju's NEET 11th I'm teaching, and I'm teaching 12th also. So if you're there, if your siblings are there, you can definitely ask them to watch the session. Okay, chaliye. So now everyone will be discussing about the nervous system. What is nervous system and what are the different divisions of the nervous system? Here comes the thing that you were asking, peripheral nervous system, central nervous system. Right? Amy, just give me some time, I'll come back to that later. But just telling you, see, initially it's electrical. In the first neuron, it's electrical only, right? Yes? But it is receiving the information how? In chemical way. I was saying that. So once a dendrite is receiving the information, of course, it receives in a form of neurotransmitters only. Okay? But later, of course, we saw it is getting converted to electrical and then, of course, to chemical. So it's a continuous cycle. We cannot say which is the first one. Okay? Clear? Okay. Absolutely correct, everyone. So the nervous system is a system where it actually helps in controlling and coordinating various functions and actions of the body through the neurons. That is the nervous system. And we have two major types of division that we will be studying in this class. We have central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. Central nervous system consists of our brain and of our spinal cord. And the peripheral nervous system is mainly focused on the spinal cord, which have the nerves. Right? The nerves that actually controls all the work that is happening in the body. So we have two nervous system, right? We have central nervous system, which comprise of the brain and the spinal cord, and the peripheral nervous system, which take a charge of the nerves. Clear, everyone? Yes, everyone. Are you clear with it? Yes? Very good, very good. We'll discuss about that, Neha. Yeah, we don't have. Then we don't have that subject. Okay, chaliye. So this is how we'll be writing in the examination, everyone. Nothing for me to explain over here. But we'll be looking into the detail of the other part. Chaliye. Right? Now, what we have in central nervous system. Now comes the most important part from this particular chapter, जो exam में आता ही आता है. The brain question, the question on the brain will definitely, it's like 95% they'll ask this only. Right? In central nervous system, we have the brain and the spinal cord. We'll first discuss about the brain. It's a main center, right? It's a main center where we'll do all the thinking, all the processing, and all the responding. See everyone, if you're overthinking, it's brain. If you're not thinking, it's again brain. If you're thinking properly, it's brain. So brain involves in lots and lots of important functioning. Now brain takes the responsibility of everything that we are doing. Focusing on the screen, looking at the colors, listening to the voice, looking at having the awareness about the environment. All of it is happening because of the brain. So, like to talk about brain. Brain is the most fascinating organ of the human body. Even though it does so much work, right? We still don't know the whole of it. We still have lots and lots of questions that we have to find the answers for. I'm sure you would have seen in movies, I'm sure you would have read articles, documentaries, that brain is a very delicate organ. If something happens to the brain, right, what happens? The body becomes very inactive. The condition, if an individual is there in coma, the brain is not working. Yes, I'm sure you would have seen this in various movies. If brain is not working, the person is there in the coma. They'll not be able to move, they'll not be able to respond, right? Yes? So brain becomes super important. It's a very, very interesting organ. There are so much confusion, controversies around the functioning of the brain. But I would suggest, and I would say that again, I tell to all my students that you should be the one who will be doing in research in the future and should provide us with the important information. Yes? Chaliye. Okay. So everyone, now we'll be discussing about the structure and the function of the brain. Now I can go on and on, but we have to be, subject specific and grade specific. So here we have. Now, of course, this is not the real brain. This is the representation of the brain. But of course, if we go on the, internet, you'll be able to find. And I would encourage you to read more about the brain. There are various good websites that we have. And previously, last year, on our channel, me and Aishwarya ma'am did various sessions focusing on the brain. So you can go and watch those sessions also. When we talk about the brain, everyone, we talk about the structure. There are definitely important parts of the brain. Front part, right? Front brain, mid brain, forebrain, hind brain, okay? The forebrain is a front brain. This particular part, right? The big chunk of our brain is actually called as a forebrain, or also called as a cerebrum. Forebrain in big part, and then it has small parts. Cerebrum, right? Cerebrum, everyone. There are two parts of it, left side and the right side. I'm sure you would have seen. How many of you have seen a walnut? Dekha hai na walnut? Kaisa hota hai? Lots of grooves are there. That's what we have in our brain, right? That's how it looks. So our brain has lots of folds, right? And yeah, it is divided into two hemispheres. We have the left hemisphere and the right hemisphere, right? The right and the left part of the brain, right? These two parts are joined by a small structure which is called as the corpus callosum. See over here, this part, this particular structure that we have is actually helping joining the two parts. Now we have the thalamus and the hypothalamus. Now we know that, right? We know that the pituitary gland is the master gland, but hypothalamus is important. I'm sure you would have studied it somewhere. Yes? Very good, very good. Can you quickly tell me, everyone, what will happen? What about the hypothalamus? Yes? Okay. Yes, it's the master of the master gland. Absolutely correct. It's really very chotu structure, right? But it's very, very important. The thalamus plays a very important role in the control of the sleep, right? And it acts as a relay station also, passing the information from one part to the other part, and plays a very important role in the sleep cycle that we have, right? Sometimes the consciousness that we have is because of the thalamus and of course the other parts that we have. So this is what we should remember. Our brain has a covering. Can you tell me what covering we have? We have a covering on the brain. We call it them as the meninges, everyone. Please note this down. Nehal will discuss about it, bache. We'll discuss about it, right? Yes. Very good, very good. Yes. So the membrane that we're talking about is called as the meninges. It is nothing but the fluid kind of layers that we have, right? Inside, sorry. It has the fluid inside them that actually protect our brain from the injuries, right? Outside we have the skull or the cranium, right? See, I'm sure if we do like this, we can easily hear the sound. That is the cranium. Okay, that's very important. Because of this cranium, we have the well protection of our brain. And of course, then we have the layers of these 3 different layers we have of meninges. Okay, clear? That's important for us to just remember this particular part. Forebrain is the front part of the brain, right? This part, it controls everything, everyone. Your emotions, your learning, your talking, your understanding, everything is controlled by the cerebrum. What will say it? Call it, everyone? Cerebrum. Neha, nothing will happen. But definitely sure, it should not be encouraged. But it's sometime we do like this. Yeah. Right? We call it as a cerebrum. Okay? Chaliye. Then the next part is the midbrain. As it's there in the middle, we'll remember one thing. Help in transferring the information from forebrain to the hindbrain, and it helps in the involuntary actions that are happening in the brain. Hindbrain. This is most confusing part, everyone. So in the hindbrain, which is the last part of the brain, has 3 important segments or the parts. We have the pons, cerebellum, and medulla oblongata. Right? 2 words, everyone, we usually get confused with is cerebrum and cerebellum. Right? Cerebellum is there in the hindbrain. Just remember the bell part, everyone. The bell part. Right? Cerebellum is present in the hindbrain and cerebrum is there in the forebrain. So cerebellum plays a very important role in the balancing of the body. See, I can do this. I usually this is how I'm sure you will be able to balance it out. Right? I'm sure you'll be able to balance it out the pencil or pen on your finger. Just like this. And I can actually walk. Right? I'm walking and I'm still controlling this. All of you can do that. All of you just wake up. Just get up from your place. Right? Wherever, if you're sitting, everyone just walk. Go back. And yeah, walk in front. All of you do that. Right? Try to take one of your leg, right, and try to balance it out only on one leg. I can't show you, but I can show you that I'm just holding my leg over here. We can do that, right? I'm sure we'll be able to do it. If I'm holding my leg and if I'm standing on just one leg, I'm sure we'll be able to balance it out. Yes? Yes or no? We can, right? We can balance. That important part of the balancing of the body, maintaining of the posture that we have, it is because of the cerebellum. And it's a common question asked in the examination. Right? It actually helps us to maintain the posture that we are in. When you're riding a bicycle, when you're walking. So sometime, if someone rotates you, if you are sitting on a jhula, and if there's a lot of spinning happening, what will happen after some time? You struggle with it, right? You try to figure it out, okay. Something had happened and now you try to regain the control of your body. Yes? Cerebellum is responsible for that. Now you know which part is responsible. Then we have the medulla oblongata, right? It plays a very important role in the involuntary actions. Pass the information from the forebrain to the spinal cord and vice versa. Pons again are a very important part. Carries the information from forebrain, midbrain to hindbrain and vice versa. Plays again very important role in the involuntary actions. Okay. Still there are a lot of research happening on various functions, but this is the function that we can write over here. Can you everyone take a screenshot of this? Very good, very good, very good, Vedant. Yes, in our ears we have the fluid which has a direct control with the brain, right? And that actually helps us in understanding the balancing state of the body. Very proud of you, very proud. Everyone take a screenshot, jaldi se. Yes? So we know that it have all the sensory organs ka main function, thinking, controlling, etc. Right? Then midbrain act as a bridge between forebrain and hindbrain. Control the movement of head, neck, trunk, response of the visual and the auditory stimuli. Then we have the hindbrain. Cerebellum help in maintaining the posture of the body, balance of the body. Medulla help in controlling the involuntary actions such as heartbeat, breathing, vomiting, coughing, sneezing, right? Yes. Then we have the pons, right? I'm just writing the function of the pons over here, right? It basically handles the job of unconsciousness process and jobs, right? Sometimes the breathing, involuntary actions. I'll just write involuntary actions, which does not require our thought process, right? Controls of the muscles also help in sending the facial muscle signals. Clear? Everyone, are we clear? Raja Vedant is answering. Which fluid is present? Cerebrospinal fluid. Very good, Vedant. Definitely, Neha, it does that. So, if the people are not able to walk properly, it's because of the cerebellum is affected. In a broader way, if we have to say. Very good. Yes, AV, absolutely correct. Yes. Yes, Preeta. Okay. Very basic information, everyone. So, in the NCERT, we don't have much of the information about the different function, but what we have over there, we'll be able to remember that information. So, again, you can take the screenshot, or if you have taken the screenshot of this, you can take the screenshot of this also. It's a very important question from the exam point of view. Aditya, midbrain bache helps in acting as a bridge between the forebrain and the hindbrain. It's there in the middle, right? So it will be helping in that. Apart from that, it has an important role in the involuntary actions. Clear? Yes. Everyone take the screenshot. Welcome to the Soulful Dreamer. Yes. Moremania. Nice. I hope that I have pronounced your name correct. Yes. Very good. Everyone take a screenshot. Okay, chaliye. Yes. Okay. Yes, Divya, yes, thank you. Yawning has a role of the hypothalamus. A little bit part of the hypothalamus. That's what we have in the records, but yeah, still more research. Not exactly when we talk about it, right? See, midbrain may, of course, you're talking about the hindbrain, right? Medulla can have some involuntary actions. Hypothalamus also has a role over there. When we talk about the unconscious mind, then which part? It is unconscious mind. See, of course, unconscious mind, I would say that unconscious mind is a mind which is not involved directly. See, we have voluntary actions and involuntary actions. So, we'll talk in that way. Okay? Yes. Unconscious mind which is not actively doing its part, right? Midbrain can be a part of it. It's not processing information, it's just transferring the information. We have in our body, we have voluntary actions and involuntary actions. Voluntary actions, that of course we ask our brain to do. Movement of the hands. That's a voluntary action. Involuntary action is breathing, right? Blinking of the eyes, beating of the heart. We cannot control that. That's completely involuntary. Clear? Okay, everyone, are we clear with this? Come on. All of you, I hope that it's clear to each one of you. This is the last part, everyone. I want you to have high energy. Please make sure, right? Please make sure to hit the like button for the video and keep the energy really very high. Moving to the last few questions, everyone, which are super easy and which is again very important from the exam point of view, is what is reflex and how they are different from the involuntary action. Now, let's start with a very, very important part of this chapter that usually come in the examination is the reflex arc. Someone calls your name, what we do, if someone calls Ankita, I'll turn around and I'll try to follow the sound. If someone put a light on my face, what will happen? I'll try to put my hands back, right? I'll try to see from where the light is coming. We always try to respond, right? We have a stimulus, right? We have the receptors and we respond. Three things happens together. Then only it forms a complete circuit, I would say. So we have the stimulus, We have the receptors and then we have the response. Yes? Sakshi will clear it up. We will clear it up. But don't worry. UPS knowledge board, bache, it's a part of the brain, right? Top master gland, which makes sure to control the pituitary gland. Okay? Part of the brain only. Chotu se part that we have. Yes. We usually call it as the pituitary gland and the master gland, right? Remember that. But definitely it gets the signals from the hypothalamus. Okay. So let's understand this part, everyone. What is reflex? Reflex is nothing but an action, right? An involuntary action or a very instant reaction or a movement in response to the stimulus. Anything when we react to the stimulus, we call it as a reflex. Everyone, are we clear? Yes? Are we clear what is reflex? Any sudden reaction. If someone will switch off the light, I'll do, right? Someone will do, I'm sure in your school or maybe at your home, your siblings or your friends will try to scare you, right? They'll stand behind the door and suddenly when you will enter, they'll be like, oh, yes? The reaction that you get is nothing but what? It's a reaction, it's a response, right? So there was a stimuli, the sound, could be. We have the receptors in our ears and then we respond. Okay? Yes, Anihar, I think you have joined the session late. Receptors are the cells, right, that we have in our sensory organs that receives the information. That receives the information from the stimulus. And then they react to it. Yes, intersteneous means very instant. Team 7 guy, very quickly. Spontaneous reactions we say. Instant coffee, right? Fatafat se ban jati hai. Instant reactions. So that is reflex. Now in our body, we have voluntary actions and involuntary actions. Involuntary actions are those actions which are not in our control. Can you control the beating of your heart? You can control your breath. But can you control the beating of your heart? Tell me. Everyone, can you stand still? And can you tell your heart, please don't beat? Is it possible? No, right? We know that in class 9th we have studied that heart have a very special muscles called like the cardiac tissue. They're made up of the cardiac muscle and they have the cardiac tissue which works 24/7. If our heart stops, the person is dead. Right? So involuntary actions are not in our control. Voluntary actions are in our control. So reflex is voluntary or involuntary? Jaldi say. Jaldi everyone. So the reflex is voluntary or involuntary? Tell me. It's involuntary. Very good. So reflex action that happens is involuntary. We don't plan. If someone will scare me, I will put my left hand first and then my right hand and do all of this. Ashwara ma'am just entered our class and I was telling ma'am, it's very easy, I'll explain really very quickly. But see, here I am doing all the action and the drama. Yes, right? I'll not be thinking कि जब ऐश्वर्या मैम आएंगी तो मैं ऐसे देखूंगी, ऐसे हाथ रखूंगी, ऐसे करूंगी. It happens involuntary, right? So, that is the involuntary action. Thinking is voluntary. सोचना पड़ता है ना एग्जाम में. अच्छा ये आंसर लिखेंगे, मैं अपने फ्रेंड को क्या बोलूंगा, मैं अपनी मैम को क्या एक्सक्यूज दूंगा कि मैंने होमवर्क क्यों नहीं करा या क्यों नहीं किया, मम्मी को क्या बोलने वाली हूँ आज मैं, मुझे क्या खाने का मन है. तो हम बहुत सोच रहे हैं. The thinking part is where we are using our thought process. It's voluntary in action. Clear everyone? Right? Clear? So we have the clarity, right? What is voluntary and involuntary actions? Good. Very good. Chaliye. So everyone take the screenshot of this. This has a definition of involuntary action and reflex action. We'll move further to the reflex arc, the last topic, and we'll say bye-bye to each other. Okay. Now we'll have the reflex arc. Again, I will flex my drawing. Breathing is voluntary or involuntary? You tell me. So breathing we can control for some time. Right? Hold your breath. We can actually hold our breath, right? So that is involuntary. Or voluntary. It's voluntary. We can control it for some time. Right? But not for all the time. right? But ideally, if you look at the structure of lungs and inside that, it is not in our control. So it could be the involuntary also. So there is a lot of controversy that we have in such topics of the brain. So we usually move towards the involuntary action. You cannot control it for the longest time. And inside the structure of our lungs, definitely it's out of our control. So yeah. Okay? Now you can actually do more research and write in the comment section, everyone, that what you think according to the breathing is. Is it voluntary or involuntary? I have given you the pros, not the pros and cons, the theory about it. Yes? Okay. The posterior part of the brain, soulful dreamer, is the hind brain. Anterior part, anterior is the front part. Posterior is the back part, the hind brain. Okay? Chaliye. What is reflex arc? Describe the pathway. It's a sure 3 marks question. It's a favorite question also, I would say, in this whole chapter. Yes? Okay. Yes? Okay, very good. Very good, team 4-7 guy. You have to write the answer in the chat also after this session. Okay. Now here's a very classic example, everyone, which is given in our textbook. We'll use this and then, of course, from this, we'll understand more further. So, I'll just write the hot... I'll write... I cannot make the hand, but I'll just make a fancy hand. Like this. Like a... hot object. My hands look like a wooden hand. Yeah, it's like a neuron, right? So, for example, if by mistake if I touch a hot object, right, what will happen? I'll react. This is what we react, right? Ouch, lag gayi, garam hai. We'll do that, right? The first one, I don't know why. I think majority of us will say, ayo, ouch, karke we always react to it, right? So what happens when we touch a hot object, right? We have the receptors. We have the receptors, the thermoreceptors. They will receive the information, right? And they will send the information to the... They'll pass the information, right? They will pass the information. Now, which neuron are passing the information, everyone? They are the sensory neurons because they are present on the sense organ and they are the receptors basically. Yes? They will take the information. So, the sensory neuron will take the information, right? And will pass it to the very important part, which is the... Now, I want you to tell me, is it brain or is it the spinal cord? Tell me, everyone. The information, right? The sensory neurons will give the information to the brain or to the spinal cord. I can see the answers filled with the spinal cord and you are absolutely correct. See, brain controls so many things. And brain best friend is spinal cord. So brain ne bola ki haan, you have this big responsibility with you. I'll not be able to focus. Bhai main bahut sare kaam chala raha hoonga. I don't want to handle the responsibility of this. जो एकदम जल्दी काम कर रहा है मैं वो काम नहीं करूँगा. And I'll not be able to take care of it. So you take care of part and send me the signal. So what happens? The spinal cord, which is there, right, receives a signal and definitely it sends the signals to brain. Kind of acknowledging it to the brain ke bhai, see, bhai ye hua hai, I'm just letting you know. Okay? Inside, of course, we have the spinal cord and of course there we have the relay neuron, which will pass the information, which will take the information from the sensory neuron and will pass the information to the motor neuron. Right? Sensory neuron ne information pass on ki relay neuron will pass information to the motor neuron, and these motor neurons eventually will be able to pass the information to the organ or the important place, and of course that's how we react to it. Yes? Very good. So if you look at this diagram which I tried to make, we can clearly see there is an arch formation. Can you see? There is a circuit which is formed. It's not reflection arc. Ayyo. Right? It's the reflex arc. Preeti, I think you're getting confused with it, bachche. It's not the reflection arc. It's a reflex arc. All of you, are you clear? So there's a formation of the arc. Right? We have a formation of an arc and that is called as a reflex arc. So the question that you have is, ma'am, what is reflex action and what is reflex arc? when we see this circuit formation from sensory to relay to motor, where there is a formation of a complete arc, a complete circuit, we call it as a reflex arc. And the reaction that we gave, the involuntary action that happens to any of the external stimuli is called as reflex action. Everyone, do we have the clarity now? Yes, yeah. Yes, yes. Clear? Everyone, are we clear? Good. So here, take a picture of this. This, of course, we have in the textbook. And I want you to practice this particular arc. If you don't want to draw the hand and other things, you don't have to draw. But when you're labeling, you have to make sure that you're not missing anything. We have to write any of the stimulus. It could be the heat, right? It could be a needle. Please mention that. Then, of course, we have the receptors that will be detecting the stimulus, right? We have the receptor that will be passing the information to the sensory neurons. Sensory neuron will take the information to the spinal cord. There, of course, we have the relay neuron, and then we have the motor neurons, and eventually they will be doing the action. Clear? Everyone, are we clear with this? Yes. Neha, about the hormones, you have to wait for the next class. Aishwarya ma'am will be coming and ma'am will be discussing about all the plant and the animal hormones. We cannot say AVK, see, prominent part, of course, that brain is controlling face and other things. Yes, it does that, but brain controls sort of other things. See, again, we have to understand brain as a principle of the school, which is aware about everything. See, I'm sure that all of you know that in a school there's a principal. And the principal is aware about every class. Okay, वहाँ पे ये class है, वहाँ पे ये teacher है, वहाँ पे ये है. Even though they're not actively involved in all of it, they're not coming to each and every class every time, right? But they're aware about what is happening. Yes or no? So as a brain, when we talk about, brain is aware about all the things which are happening, right? In our body. But when we talk about any functions, movements, right? All of it, we have the spinal cord which plays a very important role into it. Yes? So, brain will definitely help us when we need it. But if we got into the habit, for example, we know how to brush the teeth. Now, of course, we have neural connection, and now we don't have to think कि अच्छा मैं left में करूँ पहले right में ऊपर या नीचे. You get up in the morning, even if you're half asleep, you'll have the brush, you'll start doing that करके, you'll know that, right? It is a voluntary action. You are making an effort, but you're not thinking that much. So it's a mixed combination, but brain is definitely aware about the things which are happening in the body. Clear? Ma'am, can we say that reflex action is same? No, bachche. Preeta, reflex action and reflex arc are different. Arc is when we'll see the circuit form. From sensory neuron to the relay to the motor, that whole circuit is called as the reflex arc. Action is when you react to stimulus. Clear? So everyone, this is how you can frame your answer. I'll not be spending time over here. Take a screenshot. Take a screenshot, everyone. Very good, very good. And now to the last question which you are having doubts regarding from the first time only. Now, what is peripheral nervous system? So we just discussed, we have two types of system in our body. We have nervous system. We have central nervous system in the nervous system, and then we have the peripheral nervous system. Yes. Now, peripheral nervous system includes what? It includes the nerves that we have in our body. So let's see how the nerves look, right? We know that nerves are nothing but the bundle of neurons. So in a bundle of a neuron, we'll have the axon. So all the parts are there. You have the definition of a nerve is a bundle of the nerve fiber. A nerve fiber is made up of the axons of the neuron. Okay? Right? When we have various neurons, axons coming together, right, it will form basically a simple word if you have to put bundle of a nerve fiber, and what nerve fiber is made up of, it has all the axons. Okay? Yes. Middle brain क्या होता है? Middle brain बच्चा brain का middle part है, right? And it controls various involuntary activities, and it actually help in passing the information from the forebrain to the hindbrain. Yo, very good. Neha, right? Ma'am, why it is occur paralysis? Solve this doubt. So paralysis के बहुत सारे factors हैं, right? If it could be due to some injury, it could be due to some trauma. What happens in the paralysis is again a very vast topic. But if in general, if we have to say, in biology we don't usually use the word general because there has a reason for it. But what happens in the paralysis, that particular, for example, if a person says that my hand is paralyzed, what happens? The nerves are not responding in an easy way. There's no response that is happening. It's not dead. It's not dead. But it's not responding. If a person have a paralysis in their body, they'll not be able to move their hand. Clear? In a very small way, I'm trying to explain you over here. You can read more about it. Okay. Now everyone, when we talk about the peripheral nervous system, we have further divided into the somatic nervous system and autonomic nervous system. Now what is somatic nervous system? We have the motor neurons, right? It has the motor neurons that stimulates the skeletal muscle. So can we call it as the voluntary action wala part, right? The somatic nervous system will be actively involved in the voluntary actions. Yes? Clear everyone? Are we clear, all of you? Yes, all of you, are we clear? Thank you so much for asking that interesting doubt. Yes. Okay. Autonomic nervous system is a system, of course, which consists of the motor neurons, which of course have the control of smooth muscles, cardiac muscles, right, and the glands. It's unconscious and it's involuntary. So we have these broad divisions, right? We have so many actions in our body where we don't have to think about it. Where of course the signals are moving, right? The signals are moving to our kidney ki kitna pani chahiye, right? The movement is happening inside our blood vessels. Arteries and veins are doing their part, right? So all of this is happening without our knowledge. Can you control the flow of your blood? क्या आप ऐसे देख के बोल सकते हो कि अच्छा यहाँ पे जो blood जा रहा है रुक जाए? We can't control it, right? We cannot. We can control our thoughts, we can control our body movement ka action, but we'll not be able to control what is happening inside the body. So there's a huge difference between these two systems. Clear everyone? Yes. Prem, Prakash, Bachaya, you have to go back. We have discussed that. Preeti will discuss that. BP to बहुत reasons से होता है. You can watch it in a live process session we have discussed. Of course, there are a lot of factors why the BP happens. It's nothing but the increase in the blood pressure that is flowing in the arteries. Okay? Now, apart from that, everyone, when we talk about the peripheral nervous system, we always talk about the nerves. And in our body, we have different types of nerves. So, of course, from the word, many of you are asking in the beginning, ma'am, what are the cranial nerves, and what are the spinal nerves? Remember that, everyone? Cranial nerves are those nerves which arise from the brain. They are there in the brain. They arise from the brain and they are present in our face and our brain, right? There are 12 pairs of it and they basically control the activity of the head and the neck. AV, I think you had a doubt regarding this. When you talk about ma'am, कि हम बोल सकते हैं कि brain control the upper part of the body. I think you're referring to this. So we have the cranial nerve, right, which controls the head and the neck part of it, right? And definitely the brain part of it for sure. There are 12 pairs of it. Then we have the spinal nerves, which of course have a 31 pairs of it on both the sides, and they actually control the parts of a body below the neck, right? All the best, Prem Prakash, for your exam, right? You can go and watch the brain wala part again. We have discussed there are 3 parts of the brain, not layer of the brain, but 3 parts of the brain. Yes. Okay? Chaliye. Remember this, everyone. This is, I know me and Aishwarya ma'am keeps on talking that, you know, we want to go in so much detail, especially ma'am. Ma'am loves the topic brain and ma'am keeps on discussing about these amazing articles that ma'am reads, right? We really want to do so much, especially on this brain ka part. But due to the restriction of, you know, of course, the time and sometimes the syllabus is also there and sometimes the exams are there, we try to restrict ourselves, right? But we promise you, right, we have done session in the past and in the future also we'll try our best to have something, you know, to help you understand more about it. In meanwhile, everyone, there are so many amazing documentary, right? That you can definitely watch. You can go on internet and you can research more about it. बहुत ही interesting organ है. बहुत ही ज़्यादा interesting. I will not able to teach you light, बच्चे. Saurav sir did. You can go and watch the video. Thank you for the appreciation. Thank you so much. Aishwarya ma'am is super active. He's like, ma'am, why is Aishwarya ma'am is not active? Ma'am is active. Ma'am is here in the class. Ma'am is active. Ma'am is controlling the chat now.
I'm giving answers also.
Yeah, ma'am is giving the answers. Okay, ma'am, should we learn about the pair of the nerves? Preeta, yes, you remember, बच्चे है ना, cranial nerve 12 होती हैं, and we have the spinal nerves are 31 in pair. Easy thing. Yes, she is the brain. Absolutely correct. Yes. Yes, Sakshi, definitely. We will make sure to have we'll make sure to have more of such sessions which focus on the brain and the interesting part of it. Then you have to make sure you have to join the class. Right? ऐसा ना हो कि हम ऐसे जाएं. Right? Yes, we will have the session and nobody is watching the session. That should not be the case. AV is asking both of us, Aishwarya ma'am, are the central nervous system and are all the Acha, oh, okay. Oh. Love. Hearts for this. Yes, hearts for this. Very good, AV. So everyone, with this, we kind of completed. I know that it was a very long session, right? It was a very long session, everyone. Take a screenshot of this, all the things. And thank you so much, everyone, for staying till the end. Yes, Sarpanch. अभी जम्मू से तो पता नहीं कौन है, पर मैं पहले जम्मू में थी. Okay? So everyone, please make sure to watch this video again and again. Yes, please do that. And of course, we have put out the videos on the channel, right? Aishwarya ma'am ka one shot hai. We have the videos from the previous year where we have discussed in detail also. And this was a detailed session. ऐसा नहीं है कि हमने ऊपर से पढ़ा है. We have discussed all the topics, but of course we took a help from the question that can come in your examination. So it's not that कि revision है. ये हमने रिवीजन भी पूरा चैप्टर पढ़ा भी है. These are the concept session also, और हमने questions भी करे. So everyone, do tell us how you feel about these sessions, right? We really want to continue these sessions so that we have lot of engagement. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि टाइम पास हो रहा है फिर लास्ट में हम क्वेश्चंस भी कर रहे हैं. We can do when two things together, right? Especially learning and seeing what type of question can come in your examination. Yes? You like these sessions, right? So I would encourage you to write in the comment section and tell us whether you enjoy these sessions. And we have the homework question also. Can anyone tell me what was the homework question? I forgot. I told them, I said 2 or 3 questions in the beginning. Something about the brain का ही था. I told कि अच्छा ये बताना answer में. Yes. All the best everyone who have the examination. I think I asked you the question on neuron only, something on neurons. What will happen if something was there? Breathing is voluntary and involuntary. Thank you, AV. Thank you so much for, reminding me the question. So everyone, I would love to see you write in the answer for the particular question whether the breathing is voluntary and involuntary. What are your thoughts about it, right? Yes, and the length of the axon. Thank you, Sakshi. Find what is the length of the axon. Okay? Very good. Congratulations, Neha. Ankit, ma'am, tomorrow will be my live process. All the best for that. Yes, live process is there. You just see our videos. All will be good. Chaliye. Preeti, we don't have that process in class 10. You can actually watch NEET and BYJU'S ka videos. We have that process, so you'll be able to see. NEET channel pe have. Okay, everyone. So I think with that note, everyone, I'll say bye-bye. Yes, this is me doing. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Hit the like button for the video, everyone. And please make sure to stay with us in the future and ask your friends to join the channel so that we can make sure that all of us are there and rocking in the examination. Right? And that shot is gone. Exam wala. Okay. Everyone, if you haven't seen that shot, please make sure. There's a shot, right, provided by Aishwarya ma'am in evening only. So I will not tell you what is the topic is, but you go and watch that shot. Is there on the channel? Yes. And then you comment whether you are ready or not. Okay, with that everyone, I'll be saying bye-bye. And lots of love from my side and from ma'am's side to each one of you. We'll meet you really very soon. Lots of love to each one of you and keep on learning with BYJU'S. Bye-bye.